Alright, good morning everybody. We are streaming live here, ZWift Races. This is my second ZWift stream. We're racing the Trisport-WAY Classic Hilly race this morning on ZWift. For those of you that are not familiar with ZWift, it's an online gaming platform that basically lets you ride your bike online and gives you real numbers as far as heart rate and power, cadence, and lets you ride or race with other people from around the world. It's a pretty amazing platform. It certainly has changed my winter training from one trainer slog after another watching YouTube videos to actually racing and riding with people around the world. It makes the workouts better, and it makes the time go a lot faster. So I know last winter was my first year on ZWift, and I was in the best shape of my life in the spring. So, and I over raced, but I'm competitive. I like to race there, but ZWift offers a tremendous number of free training plans, so you can really do whatever you want. If you want to noodle around at 12 miles an hour, you can do that. So at any rate, we're racing today 18 miles, and we're on the London course, so I'm assuming we're going to Box Hill. If it's Hilly, that's probably the only way we're going to go. So I raced 2 days ago, did the Masters race on Tuesday. It went okay, but this time of the year I'm definitely not running 100%. So it's November. It's technically the off season. So with every race that I do, I try to have a goal, have an idea what you're going to do. I do also have 152coaching.com is my coaching website, and 152 Coaching on Facebook. So we're just kind of getting going with this new adventure. So I've been bike racing for 32 years and coached off and on. So with the advent of social media, I try to make it so that I can maybe help some people learn along the way I did, maybe a little faster than since I had to learn it sort of trial and error. And with power, I think it's personally gotten kind of confusing with all this power stuff. It's a very valuable tool, but it's just another tool in the toolbox. So we got a minute and a half to go. We have 25 riders in the pen. Looks to be a pretty solid group. I don't see anybody I recognize right offhand. A couple guys. So, of course, ZWift starts are always fast. So think of it as a mountain bike race start or a criterium start. You need to have some watts going before it says 0 on the counter. We've got just less than a minute. So take some deep breaths. You're not going to go off the front at the beginning, but you want to make the front selection. That means you need to leap off that start line and be ready to go for a few minutes. Pretty hard. It'll settle down a little bit, depending on the field. So 30 seconds, so we'll start to build up some watts. It's just defensive. At the beginning, you're riding defense. You don't want to miss the first selection, or you'll be chasing when little groups or by yourself pretty much the rest of the day. So here we go. Don't need to be the first guy. Just don't want to be the last guy. They will all come up, blowing up behind me here as I start to slow down. Don't forget to turn on your fan. That was kind of dumb. You need the fan in ZWift. And you need the draft. It's there. So that was a little effort I didn't need to make. Ideally, but remember, turn your fan on before you start. So if you overheat, your performance just goes in the tank. Your body starts to really shut down. All right, so it looks like we got a pretty solid group up here. Moving along pretty quick. We just want to stay in the group, get a good draft. Geez, bad news is 2 minutes and 30 seconds into this, we're going up Fox Hill. This could be rough. This is the backside of Box Hill. Number in the upper left is my wattage, cadence, and heart rate. Fox Hill's a good climb. You got to climb within your limits and try to keep contact. Just want to stay in here. Moving along pretty quick. Halfway up. Single file, it's fast. Well, this is a group. See if I can stay with them. Get steep up at the top. Hard. Ouch. Almost there. Oh God, that was hard. Too hard. Recover, recover, recover. Ouch. That was tough. Wow. That was some pretty good pace. Wow. All right, down Box Hill. Got to get some recovery here. Stay in contact. You really don't want to lose a wheel on the downhill. Not good. Keep yourself hydrated. Pay attention. Do all the little things. Well, the good news is I made the front group. Bad news is barely. I don't think I had much more to give there. I got a little bit faster. I would have gotten popped. It's hard. Anytime you go up a hill 2 minutes into the race, it's pretty brutal. That's why you gotta have a decent warm-up. Everybody has their own warm-up plans. I'll talk about that one of these days, what mine is. I like to spin my legs as much as possible. Save the low cadences and the big gears for when I really have no choice. Keep the legs fresh. Nice and easy spin. As you really tap into the muscle source when you start pushing big gears. Spinning is your aerobic capacity, so if you're fit, you can spin. If you're not, you can't. Of course, I knew a guy once who said I can spin, I just can't go fast. You gotta do both. Alright, we're coming to the bottom here. Pretty compact group. What do we got here? 3, 6, 7? Looks like 7 guys. A couple guys behind, chasing very hard. They might get back on. Nichols will get back on. He's killing it. He's there. Headed and Herd, those are good riders. They're not far behind, 10 seconds. Depends on how fast this group goes. And they are not slowing down. If you look at that stack of numbers over on the right, you see a bunch of upper 4s and 5s. Pace is really good. Up this little kicker. Don't want to mess around here. That was a tough 6 miles. Basically, we're gonna loop back around and do Fox Hill again, I assume. That'll be tough. Boy, making it real hard for those 2 guys chasing behind to get back on. These are good guys up here. I don't know them, but they're good. Karn's really good. But since I'm the old guy, I'm definitely not the strongest guy in this bunch. I'm just going to try to ride defensively here. Not lose contact. React to any moves. See how it goes. Little hills like this one coming up here, just got to be careful. I don't need to be first, but I'd rather be first than last. Okay, so ZWift has just stuck me outside here. It's not good. Left me out in the wind. Got gapped. Nothing you can do about that. This happens. Strong guys in here. I imagine we'll see some attacks before we get back around to the hill. 10 miles to go. 8 miles done. Pretty solid 8 miles. It's a short race, but short races on ZWift are fast. Pretty much all races on ZWift are fast. Like any real bike race. Depends on the course. Depends on who shows up. It's getting to be winter though. These fields are getting big. Pretty sparse in the summer, but everybody's getting back on their trainer. That just makes the races that much harder. Like I said, you don't have to race. There are a lot of training rides you can do that aren't full gaps. The group's settling down a little bit here. Usually means people get recovered and they start attacking again. Gradual uphill. See the map in the upper right? 2% grade uphill. Shows you where we are. You look at all those things, but you basically look at the people around you. Where are they going? How fast are they going? Can I go that fast? Sometimes no. Getting a little bit of recovery here. I'd rather be in the 140s than the 150s, but do what you got to do. You guys are all good climbers, so it isn't like they're all going to get dropped the next time up the hill. Just about halfway done. Finishing the first lap. Oh, so Fox Hill's not that far ahead. It's a long run around back to the finish. That'll be interesting. So second selection of the day will come on the hill. And I'm betting that this whole group won't be there at the end, at the top. I might not be there at the top. Zwift is one of those things that you can't feel the draft unless you get out of it. Then you know you're not in it. The bunch will start rolling away from you. The blob. Yeah, we're not even a mile from Fox Hill, so going to be tough. See how these good guys ride this. They had me in the rivet last time. I guarantee I'm the oldest guy in this field. But doesn't matter. You keep up or you don't. Zwift Masters races are crazy fast. A lot of old guys in those races. They move. See, if you're really good, super strong, this would be a good place to attack. So nobody wants to go hard right for the hill. That person is not me, but if you were really fit and had a lot of confidence, you could do that. But everyone just wants us to ride steady here. Two guys that we're chasing are almost a minute back. Herd and Pettit. Shows you how fast this little group's going. Not super fast, but fast enough. So you want to get ready for this hill. Take some deep breaths. Backload a little oxygen. Can't hurt. Throw down number 2 right around the corner. That's 6.5 minute effort. It's so far from the top of the hill to the finish, though. Not sure how these guys will play it. I'd like to pull over and have a picnic. Stay in control. Watch your breathing. I'm too far back, for sure. Oh, in trouble. In trouble. No man's land. Front group just riding away. Nothing I can do. Oh boy. Ugly. Six miles to go. Front group is gone. Big drop off for me, second time up the hill. Those are November legs. See if I can catch Leo up here. He's got somebody to ride in with. Good job by the front runners. Boy, look at that time. Wow, that stunk. I'm gonna chase Mr. Leo down the hill here. Tough day. Tough day. He's going pretty good up there, Mr. Leo. Tough to catch. Spin up some speed here. No, I'm not catching him. He's maintaining a solid pace up there. $16 seconds now. I'll have to blast it right at the bottom and try to get him. Always want to ride with somebody if you can. You know, if you lose the front group or whatever your target group is, then go to plan B. My plan B is to pull over in a parking lot, eat some chocolate chip cookies. That's my plan B. Okay, that's my fantasy plan B. My real plan B is with only 4 miles left. Work really hard and catch Mr. Leo. Try to beat him in the sprint. Keep the 2 boys behind me that are chasing away. Always something you can do. I'd like to be with the front group, but November legs, that's not going to happen. I need my August legs. Oops, it's not August. That'll happen. So I just need to ride some steady, fast tempo here. See if I can pull him back. He knows, though. He'll do the same thing. Could use my arrow power up. Bury it. I'd rather save it for the end, but might have to use it to try to get up there. Aero power up gives you about 20 seconds. Pushes you up a watt per kilogram. It's nice to use. It's got to be smart when you use it. Don't use it on a hill. Use it on a flat, a little bit of a downhill. Always looks like you're crawling up this thing. Ah, I suck. I suck. Man, I'm dying. I'm dying. I have to work hard to keep herding petted away now. Three miles. See, I should be like 340, 350. I'm 300 barely. Just gotta settle in and go as hard as I can. 2.8 miles. Not gonna catch Mr. Leo. It's going too good. I'm going too bad. Two and a half miles. 43 seconds. Two guys behind me. 23 seconds, guy ahead of me. Remember, it was 8 seconds on the downhill. This little hill doesn't do you any favors. Leader's now 2 minutes ahead of me. All right, let's throw down the aero power up for what it's worth. Oh, that's all I have to say about that. I cut the gap in half. 1.5 miles to go. Oh, Mr. Nichols in front of me. Should be able to catch him. He must be a little light guy. Just over 1 mile. Finish. All flat uphill. $1K to go. Mr. Nichols wants to give me a draft, that's fine. Oh, tough finish going this way. Trying to ease up behind him here. See who's got what left. See who's got what left here at the finish. I think I'm a bigger, heavier rider, so I should be able to get him, but never know. Alright, here we go. Oh, he timed that right. Damn. Well, that was kind of ugly. All right, we'll spin down and do a post-race report. Look at some numbers. Cry like a baby. You know, I always like to finish with the front group, but you can't do that week after week, month after month. You're gonna have your ups and downs. November is definitely tough for me. I can feel. I started racing on ZWift just about this time last year, and I've done about 150 races online and another And of course I've been riding outside as well. I only did two IRL in real life races this year. I won both of those 60 plus races. And I did a couple of cross races. Cyclocross races just for fun. But I will tell you, getting off the bike, running and jumping for a lifetime roadie like me just pulverized my leg. Oh my gosh. I was sore. Yeah, it hurt. I don't really cross train. I just ride. That cross stuff. Whew, I had the engine for it, but at any rate, so looking at today's race, we'll spin down here a little bit. Then look at our final numbers. So, for a review, 2 laps, Box Hill twice, the backside of Box Hill. Very good group of climbers. Ended up in a 7-man front group over the top the first time. If you noticed, I was riding a significantly higher wattage that first lap up. 360, 370, 380, 390, just to keep up at the back of that group. And I was pretty pegged. But I also noticed my heart rate, I don't think got over 170. And that also you can tell when you're tired. Your heart rate won't go as high as it usually does. I should be able to get upper 170s. I think 181 is my max. Of course, that's puking level. Don't like to get there very often. But, so I got up over the top. I was where I needed to be, but, and luckily it wasn't really fast from there all the way around. No real attacks. Just steady speed. Again, a group I ordinarily would stay in, but, you know, those guys were good. We hit Fox Hill the second time. I don't know if they were going any faster, but I was going significantly slower. I mean, I'm going 320, 330, barely. And they're still going 380, 390. Well, that's called see ya. So, but you know, it's damage control at that point. What are you going to do? Zwift is no different than real life that way. I mean, can't always be where we want to be. So, I just tried to ride steady up to climb the rest of the way, and then coming down the hill, I thought I might be able to catch Mr. Leo, but he, thank you. Got some good ride-ons here. Thank you, guys. I don't know who you are, but thank you. He rode steady the whole way, too. I mean, he knew I was chasing him. I put a couple of big surges coming down the hill, try to get my speed up, but really didn't make a difference. And once he got out to 18, 19, 20 seconds, I mean, if you're going to catch somebody like that, you have to ride almost 5.0 steady to get up there, and that's not going to be me today. So I would have needed to run 330 watts on the flats steady to probably catch him. And he was riding 5.0, 5.1, so he rode very well. So then I utilized my my Aero Power Up, which is realistically, those are good for, you can get anywhere from 8 to 15 seconds, either up on somebody or cut the gap, and that's about what I did. He was about 30 seconds, and I cut it down to 15 with the Aero Power Up, but you gotta keep going. And I'm gonna turn around. I'm not going back up Fox Hill. So he was able to sustain that gap because I couldn't really once the Aero Power Up came off, and those are really valuable. About, I guess they're longer, maybe 30 seconds, 35, 40 seconds. So if you're going 5 watts kilogram, you'll go 6. If you're going 6, you'll go 7. It's a really powerful tool, but I needed 2 of them. So, you know, good job by him. Good job to those front guys. They rode a good race. So anytime you finish a hard effort, you want to spin your legs down, get your heart rate down, flush your legs a little bit. The worst thing you want to do is just hop right off your bike. I don't know if you're like me, but my leg just seize up like wet concrete, drying up if I do that. So it's not a good idea. Spin your legs out. Basically, when you finish a hard ride, you're immediately working on recovery for your next ride. That's what you need to be thinking about, what you're doing. So if you're not going to ride for a week, well, hop off your bike, go sit on the couch and have a beer, I guess. I know I'm going to race again Saturday. So I'm going to start working on some recovery between now and then. And ride easy tomorrow. Spin out the legs a little bit. I imagine Saturday will be more of the same for me. I'll probably be able to make the front selection early and then probably get dropped. I just don't have that. I can't maintain that top level for the whole race, not in November. That's right, I still get a good workout. This is good. It's about weight control, keeping a little fitness, and it's fun. I like it. All right, let's take a look at our numbers before we sign off for the day here. So when you finish a race, when you wipe your face, when you finish your race on ZWift, you can go to, this is your first screen. It's going to show you where you were at, your power distribution, your heart rate distribution, and it'll show your numbers for this ride and your best. And when you're in peak form, those numbers up there, the 5 to 1 minute, 5 seconds to 20 minutes, those numbers are probably going to be pretty close to what your best are. I mean, ballpark. But I think you can see mine were all significantly lower. So those are November numbers for me. So you can look at that, and you can look at your totals up at the top. I've got 4,600 miles on ZWift since I started back in the end of November last year. And then another, I don't know, I'm on Strava, Rick Sorenson on Strava, 152 Coaching on Facebook, 152coaching.com. I do coach riders, just as kind of a sidelight, but I do a lot of stuff for free. I just like to help people, you know. Bike racing's hard. If I can make you any faster, any better, help you achieve your goals, that's what I'm after. So money's not a big part of it. So then you go to an end ride. You'll see who gave you some ride-ons, which is always nice. So the people watching you give you a ride-on. I got 10 of them. You know, that's nice. I like. Thank you guys. Shows you what your average heart rate was, how far you rode, your distance, and how many pieces of pizza you get to eat. So I'm going to take that under serious consideration. There's your timeline. And these are always good to look at because it shows you where you worked hard. I mean, like you don't know, but you know. So if you look over here, here's Fox Hill the first time. Now you can see some of those numbers: 393 at 166. I should have been like 176 at those wattages. So, you know, my system is just tired. It's not firing on all cylinders. Here we go. So then we come down the descent. And then these little spikes here are some of those little short hills or attacks where you're having to follow people. The blue stuff is pretty comfortable. You can see 153 at 241 watts. That's kind of typical for riding in the bunch in ZWift for me. You know, ZWift moves along fast enough that you don't coast. And if you're with the bunch, you're probably going to be riding 240 to 280 watts and a heart rate of 140 to 160 just to ride in the bunch, depending on how fast they go. So it's not easy. It's never really easy. The only part easy in ZWift is the downhills, and even then you got to be careful because if you just try to coast all the way down a downhill and the guys are pushing it, poof, you're flying out the back. So then this is Fox Hill the second time. This is the beginning. You can see 381, 400 watts, 166, right about what I was riding the first time. And then, see right here, you can't see it. That's a puff of smoke. When I exploded, poof. You know, just gotta call it. Can't do it. So all of a sudden I dropped from 380 to 320, 320, all the rest of the way up. Get over the top. Here was the descent. And there you can see where I actually stopped pedaling, which, you know, you don't really do ordinarily, but you can get away with by yourself. and then riding through the flat. I think that's my aero power up right there. One last effort to try to catch Mr. Leo, who is not going to let that happen. And then the sprint at the very end, and you can see I hit a max of, well, that says 572, so 632 watts on the top. But I know when I'm fresh, those final sprints are usually around 900 for me. So, because I'm not a real big sprinter guy, but I can get about 900 watts in a sprint. But about 630 is all I got there. And then the little guy behind me, he played it really well. Boy, he popped me, came right around me. That was a great job he did. So there are numbers. Again, heart rate distribution, power distribution. You can see where you're at. And then you're going to go save and exit. And that is going to be the end of the ride for me today. So thanks for coming along. Hopefully, as these rides go on, I get a little bit better about trying to speak clearly, and hopefully you guys can hear me. I might put some music in the background at some point. Down a little bit low so you don't have to just listen to my voice and the droning of my trainer and my breathing. We might put that on there. But the goal is just to teach people how to ride on ZWift, teach people a little bit, or throw out some tips just for racing in general, training in general. Eventually you'll start streaming on Facebook Live, and easy to take questions there. Even though during a race it's a little hard to talk sometimes, but I'm not Ian Anderson. Ian can ride with his heart rate at 174 and carry on conversations. I don't know how he does it. He's way better than me. So at any rate, that does it for today. So you guys take care, and we'll see you next time. And ride on.